SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Clark.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any contact.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Well, how you doing? Tuesday morning, another beautiful day. They're all beautiful if you have the right attitude. If you have the proper outlook, every day is gorgeous. High today of 80, tomorrow 82, Thursday 83, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, rain. But that's okay. We could actually use the rain. Had a banging weekend at Smoking on the Tracks. I haven't seen official numbers, but from what I saw with my own eyes, wasn't able to go Saturday. I did go Friday night though. And from what I saw and everything else that I've seen and heard, my rough, unofficial estimate of the attendance of Smoking on the Tracks, 18.5 million people. There were a lot of folks there. It was packed. It was busy. So another successful year for Smoking on the Tracks. And now we start the 5-year countdown to the big rounded number 20th anniversary of the event, which is still a little bit mind-boggling to me. I remember when it started. Well, I should probably need to go get checked if I don't, but 15 years ago it started, and it has grown, and it has really become an institution here in Southwest Mississippi. So good job to everybody that worked their behinds off to make Smoking on the Tracks happen again for the 15th year. You done good. That's the best bragging I can think of. I had seen this. I saw several people also send it to me. Mose, thank you, sent it to me. So they tried to do a traffic stop on Friday on I-55. The Pike County Sheriff's Office did. Matter of fact, the sheriff himself, Wally Jones, tried to stop a car just north of the Summit exit Friday afternoon. The driver did not want to participate, so kept going. And while they were getting off the interstate to continue running at the Dixie Springs exit, they threw a bag out of the passenger side of the car. Now, here is a little inside baseball peek at law enforcement. If you're chasing someone who refuses to stop and they start chunking things out the window, that's a pretty good sign that stuff is up. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they ran is a sign of that, but then when they start throwing things out the window, it's usually a sign that there are drug-related things up. Well, they did get the person pulled over. After he threw his bag out the window, he said, "Oh, I'm good now. They'll never get me now. I'm in great shape." No. They chunked a bag of fentanyl out the window. They have been identified as Tremail Richardson of Brookhaven. That was the driver, arrested and charged with fleeing and eluding law enforcement and multiple traffic violations. The drugs were thrown out of the passenger window, so the passenger, Barrington Wells of Wesson, was arrested and charged with felony controlled substance violations. This was, according to the sheriff's office, the largest fentanyl seizure in the history of Pike County. How did it happen? Not the sheriff's office. The sheriff himself, Sheriff Wally Jones, went to pull over somebody that wasn't acting right, and it led to this. It was a lot of fentanyl. It was, it doesn't take much of that stuff, and it was a lot. Now, here's the thing I want you to keep in mind. Everybody keeps screaming about crime and about how horrible things are and about how somebody ought to do something. Number one, the sheriff himself is doing something, along with the rest of his department. They're all out there working tirelessly. They just made the biggest fentanyl bust in the history of Pike County, Mississippi. And it was a drop in the bucket. You are demanding that the flooding be stopped now when the dam broke about 20 years ago. The entire lake's emptying out. It doesn't work that way. They are doing everything they can. Every new hole that pops up in the dike, somebody is there to stick their thumb in it like the little Dutch boy. But there's a whole bunch of holes they haven't found yet that are just leaking away. I'm going to say something that is totally not back upable. There are no stats for this. By definition, there's no way to prove it, but it's practically a guarantee. That was the largest fentanyl seizure in Pike County history. I'm going to tell you right now, that wasn't the largest amount of fentanyl any one person has on them right now. Right now. That's just the biggest one they've seized. That wasn't the biggest one. Make sure you get that straight. The gang activity, the drug trade, all of this nonsense going on. You don't stop that. Okay, we arrested these two. Problem solved, right? It's all over. We locked them up. We threw them in jail. That's the only solution that we seem to be able to offer. It ain't helping. It's helping a little. I'll say this. It's helping a little. Sheriff Wally Jones, after the arrest, said, and I'm going to quote him here, quote, "Fentanyl is claiming lives at an alarming rate. We remain committed to proactively and aggressively combating illegal drugs and crime in Pike County. Cases like this highlight the importance of strong law enforcement partnerships." End quote. Yes, it does. They also deserve a little support. They also deserve a little unconditional praise for what they're doing in the law enforcement community. What do I mean by that? If you heard of this arrest, the largest seizure of fentanyl in the history of Pike County, and your reaction was, "Oh, that was great, good job," but, see, that but makes it conditional. You did a good job. You saved a bunch of lives. You got two crooks and put them in jail, but everything isn't perfect yet. So what are you doing with yourself? Why are you even bothering? That's the attitude some people have, and you know that just as well as I do. We have to have unconditional praise and support when law enforcement scores a big win for public safety like this was. We don't seem to be able to do it because unconditional anything is very much out of fashion right now. Everyone is just rock solid determined to prove how smart they are and how empathetic they are and how devoted to the public good. Look what a good person I am. I'm not happy about anything. I think on behalf of quite a few people, I would just like to say, shut up. Sometimes you just have to be satisfied. Shut your trap. Nobody cares. We are allowed to recognize good things as good things without following it by the word but. You're allowed to do that. Did you know that? That's a right as an American. You can just go, good job. Thank you. And then move on with your day. Because we've had quite a few years of good job, but there's a lot more out there. What are you doing about that? Let me ask you something. We've been doing that for a long time. A lot of people have been doing that for a long time. Things any better? Oh, well, aren't you useless? Remember, what do we go by here on the show? You and I in our little private club, we go by results. If you're continuous, nonstop complaining and whining and criticizing, you've been doing that for a while. If things haven't gotten better, well, guess what? At best, you're ineffectual. Might be better to just live a happy life for those that are capable of it. We continue when we come back. One way to live a better life is to make some friends, and I know somebody we can hook you up with. We'll talk about it next.
Overexposed to the undertow, you'll never know it's coming. The numbing. So you meditate or medicate to maintain or to get away, but it's coming. Oh yeah, the numbing.
Every now and then we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't mistake in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. Ah, yes. The sun is shining on Paradise City on this Tuesday morning. We are, of course, not talking about Spokane, Washington. We're talking about the city of Macomb City. Now, for those of you that go to the stream, get the podcast downloads from the feed, you got a special update yesterday. You got a special little show yesterday. It's still up there right now. You can go and listen to it. It's what is it? Let me see. About 20 minutes. So it's not hugely long, but about 20 minutes where we talk about the special call meeting that happened on Friday. The second one in a week's time, because anything worth doing is worth doing at the last possible second. That is basically our operating parameters for city government in Macomb. We're going to wait to the last possible minute to do anything. And as a result, they voted to abolish the election commission, the election inspectors for this election, and let the county handle it because the mayor couldn't find 3 people willing to do him a favor. No, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying something just to be mean. That's his words.
I have talked with over 40 different citizens that I thought were capable of being neutral, non-biased. That's correct. But anyway, there were those that said, let me think about it. There were those who outright said no.
We all know how this board term started, and soon we'll see how it ends. But one thing we've learned in the last few days is that the mayor needs some friends. 40 people took his call, 40 people said no. Do you know 3 people that would give you a hand? You're ahead of the mayor for sure.
Put that together for the stream version, the special bonus episode of the show yesterday, and I just had to use it again because it gives me a warm, smiley feeling inside every time I hear it. Seriously, as you heard from that little clip, we'll hear it again in a second, the mayor said he called, technically he said he called over 40 people that he thought would be good. As it turns out, by the way, he was demonstrably, provably wrong because none of them wanted anything to do with it. Let's talk about a couple of aspects of that. One, I talk about, and again, I encourage you to go to the website, go download the bonus episode yesterday, because we get into that quite a bit. As you can tell, we put a song together for it. But there's another aspect that I want to talk about as well. The one we talk about on the bonus episode is the fact that he said that he felt would be impartial and be able to pull it off. Number one, good job weeding them out. You weeded the whole garden. It's just bare dirt now. Excellent, excellent work. Or there is another angle to look at that from. The mayor, this may be a demonstration, this may be an example of just how good the mayor is. Just how good of a judge of character and ability that the mayor is in the city of Macomb. It could very well be an example of that, because it could be that, yeah, he selected over 40 people that he thought had strong principles and were impartial and just wanted what was good for the city, not what was good for them. And all of them wanted nothing to do with helping the city of Macomb and his administration. So he may have judged them correctly. If you recall last week, he was saying that, everybody wanted to have a sign in their yard. They didn't want to. Yes, he actually said that out loud as a reason why he couldn't find a single solitary person to agree to be an election inspector so we could actually hold an election. That was his reasoning out loud, was that in this day and time, nobody wanted to be impartial. Everybody wanted to have their say about their candidate. I guarantee you, in a city of 11,000, there are some people that couldn't give a doggone about any of it that would still be glad to help the city. If there's not, the city's doomed. If we have no one left in the city of Macomb willing to put themselves aside long enough to help the city succeed, prosper, and thrive, the city is doomed. I mean, is there another way to look at it? It's every man for himself? That's what they shout when the boat's sinking. I'm not sure that's a great claim that you want to make out loud. That, nobody would agree to help us with this because, it's, they're all for their own interests. They can't put that aside. Nobody I know, nobody I called. I don't know any impartial people. I don't know any civic-minded people. Is kind of what the mayor's saying there. That's disturbing, a little bit frightening, and extremely depressing. Well, didn't have time on the short little stream. We're going to see how much of it we can get through here. The actual meeting was 12 minutes long. That was a whole shooting match on Friday afternoon. 12 minutes. If you count the opening prayer, it was about 14. I skipped past the opening prayer. Seemed appropriate. And we'll just go right to the start of the meeting. I'm just going to play it from scratch.
There is one item on the agenda. It reads, consider adoption of ordinance abolishing municipal election commission and authorizing the Pike County Election Commission to conduct municipal general election. Kind of got a motion and second. Selectwoman Baylor, Selectman Thompson, second. Discussion, and I'm going to allow my city attorney to talk about this because we did receive her email on yesterday relating to this matter, but I'm going to allow her at this time to speak on this matter because I may say something that's not accurate.
No.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mayor. Very quickly, you guys received the email yesterday. Hopefully you had an opportunity to read it, explaining that this is applicable to the general and any special election thereafter. This is not applicable to the primary because the primary is run by the party or any runoff. This is for the general election. The time is sensitive because of the notice that has to be given. So thank you for calling the special call meeting and being there tonight so that we can make sure that we're in compliance. Because the city has no municipal election commission. Let me say that again, municipal election commission that is appointed pursuant to statute. The city has to contract with the county. In order to contract with the county for the general election, you have to abolish the municipal election commission. Even though it does not exist because no one is appointed to it, the statutory steps are you do this, then you can contract for the general election with the county election commission to run the general and any special elections thereafter.
Why is this happening? The mayor didn't do his job. In the charter, it specifically says that the election will be run by 3 election inspectors, which shall be appointed by the mayor. It is very clear. It's very plain. He did not. I don't care what the reason is. You don't get to hand wave away the fact that you failed at your job. That's in the city charter, no less. That he's supposed to do that, just couldn't quite pull it off. Just couldn't quite do it. Well, couldn't do it at all. Out of the 3 election inspectors the city charter requires, we got none. And of course, we didn't start trying until late in the process. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that this election coming up 2 weeks from today, the primary elections are 2 weeks from today in the city of Macomb, they didn't just schedule that. It didn't sneak up on anyone. It's not like somebody said, surprise, we're going to have an election. We've known about this for decades. If you could look onto the calendar into the future, you knew when this election would be. It's not a surprise. Could have started working on it anytime. But no, as usual, we waited till the last possible second. So now we're in this situation where the board is being asked to vote to abolish something that's established in the city charter. I'll let you roll that one around in your head while we continue with the audio.
And so it is an issue right now of just the timing because of the notice requirement. Once you have abolished, then you have to, and then there's a first of the month requirement. And so this is one of the last days that will get you to a June 1st date as spelled out in the email.
Okay, and if I can jump in, City Attorney.
Here we go.
The charter gives that duty and responsibility to the mayor to appoint. I have talked with over 40 different citizens that I thought were capable of being neutral, non-biased. That's correct. But anyway, there were those that said, let me think about it. There were those who outright said no. I even asked the board last Tuesday, if you knew of someone, please let me know, because of the timing.
Because you waited till the last possible minute. And again, I'm sorry, what does it say when you go to people, when you call over 40 people, as he said, that you think could be unbiased and could be fair and could have a civic-minded attitude about serving the city, and none of them wanted anything to do with helping you? What does that say? What impression does that give? What statement does that make that nobody is interested? They don't want to be impartial people don't want to be associated with the administration. Don't want to stick their neck out in the city of Macomb. So you run all the impartial, unbiased people off. What are you left with? A letter from the state auditor, basically.
City Attorney is talking about. It is important that we have this body in place and we meet the guidelines by statute as it relates to the inspectors or commissioners. Back with you, City Attorney. Thank you
I
for...
have nothing further. Yes, sir, unless anybody has questions of me.
Okay. Board members, do you have any questions of the city attorney? Selector Toddy.
Any questions that are not spelled out in the email I sent you all?
I don't know if I saw the email, so I looked for it and I couldn't find it. But the I think your initial statement is kind of what is going to ease this question, especially that it's on record. But you know, this is in the charter. While I'm 100% for this, you know, the charter reads the mayor appoints election commissioners, and now the mayor and board of selectmen are redirecting that power elsewhere. I feel like somewhere in here it has.
Let me
go ahead.
let me correct you. You're not redirecting the power to appoint. You're abolishing the election inspectors or commissions, we're using that word interchangeably because your ordinance does. So you're not redirecting the authority that is outlined in the charter. You are abolishing the commission.
Boy, if you want to get into technicalities, talk to an attorney. So the mayor still has the power to appoint election inspectors for this election, because we're not redirecting that power. We're not doing away with that power. He still has that power. You got to understand. You got to read the wording properly. He still has that power. We're not doing away with his power to appoint election inspectors. We're just doing away with the entire election commission, so he has nowhere to appoint anyone to, which to me kind of takes the power away from him. Doesn't matter whether you turn the light bulb on or not. The power is either on or off. And the power of being on or off is kind of the point here.
Okay, so, it's clearly written out that this is for one election cycle for the month of June for the most part. So would the mayor still be able to get election commissioners at a later date per his charter's authority, or is this...
And the house is a mess, so forgive me. I'm sorry. You say again, I'm sorry. Trying to get in the car.
Does this take away the mayor's authority to hire election commissioners at a later date?
It is not. It is not. You all can always go back and, because your charter still remains. Your charter still remains, and so it does not take away his authority.
For this election cycle, though?
Yes, because you're abolishing the commission. There is nothing for him, no place for him to appoint anyone to.
Okay. So for this election cycle, we're handing it from the 3 to the 5 down at the county. Are they willing to run the general election on behalf of the city?
Well, that's what has been reported. That is what has been reported in the last few meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, last couple of meetings anyway.
The Pike County Election Commission now has the opportunity to do the funniest thing imaginable. Because if they haven't agreed, if they had not officially agreed that they would take this on and do this, and after that vote at the special call meeting on Friday, they were to say, no, we're good. We're not going to do... Now what? The commission's abolished. There's no place for the mayor to appoint anyone to, if he had anyone that would talk to him and agree to do what he asked him to do. So what do we do then? I assume we just devolve into a feudal economy and I need to get a couple of goats and some farmland? Is that how it's going to work? I don't know where we go from there. That's my understanding, what's been reported in the last couple of meetings. I'm just saying, maybe we should start double checking this stuff before we abolish things to make ourselves feel better. What are we making ourselves feel better about? That apparently either the mayor has no friends or he knows quite a few people he's accurately judged to be unbiased, impartial, and fair, and they want nothing to do with this, which is a statement in and of itself. Things are fine. We've got more of the meeting. We'll try to get through that next. Keep it here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk.PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, but just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalk.PikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Welcome back, Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5, Tuesday morning. I think I haven't been tracking. I think that may be my first heartfelt sigh of the day, which is kind of below my average, so you might want to expect a few more. We go back to the audio now from Friday afternoon's last second. Not even joking. She said, the board attorney said this was basically the last date to guarantee the June 1st date to make the general election happen in the city of Macomb. So this last second, last ditch effort to actually have a general election, because again, well, I'll phrase it more charitably. The mayor was not able to execute his charter-issued duties and responsibilities. And before you try to come back and explain that away and have your excuses, what does the charter say the mayor does? Did he do it? If the answer is no, there is no explanation. You didn't execute your duties, right? It's fairly simple. Let's go back now and pick up the conversation exactly where we left off.
Board members, do you all have any questions of the city attorney? We have one citizen who would like to ask a question. Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor.
Let me just say this. Before Mr. Simmons, I don't know if you know you, sir, and this is not directed to you, but please understand I only give it legal advice to the board of mayor and select persons. And so if you're about to ask me a legal question, I can't answer it.
How convenient.
Okay. Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Selectmen.
I'd just like to point out that is Mr. Vernell Simmons, a longtime fixture in the city of Macomb. And this is going to be a unique event. Just stick around.
That was just, like I said, I was just happening to be in the building paying my water bill. Mayor, if this commission of three bodies was charted for each mayor to do from the citizens of the municipality, would it have been a little bit to put a notice in the paper and social media seeking candidates to be on this commission before you just abolish it without the citizens having due process, mind you? Because if you don't put it in a place where everybody has the opportunity to see it and read it, and not taking sides, I'm just asking, I think, a legitimate question.
I find myself in a fairly unique position right now. Known Vernell for a long time. We have agreed on practically nothing the entire time I've known him. I agree with him on this. But I also understand why it didn't happen. Now, before we play it out, and the mayor gives his excuse, let me explain what I think. This is my guess. What I think is the reason that a general notice wasn't really put out about this, looking for people willing to help. A, the mayor didn't want to deal with a whole bunch of people showing up to apply, and B, that would have entailed him giving up his control of the situation. I'd just like to say, when you maintain and keep a tight-fisted grip on the control of a situation, when it fails, there's no one else to blame. That's the downside to that, which isn't talked about, I think, nearly enough. But let's go back to the audio now.
It's at the discretion of the mayor. The mayor does not have to publicize it. So therefore, what you're asking is no.
But it said it's in the law.
His reasoning for not putting out a public notice asking if anyone was willing to serve, once it became clear that the mayor didn't have 3 friends willing to do it, his reasoning for not doing that is, I don't have to. I don't have to. It doesn't say anywhere in there that I've got to, so I'm not gonna. Literally. You just heard him. That was literally the reason. It's not required. I don't have to do that, so I'm not going to do that because I am much more interested in the process than the results. Back to my favorite thing. We got to follow the process. There's a process. We need to work on the process. The process is the most important part. The process sometimes leads to a dismal, humiliating failure. And we're after results, not whether or not second base was appropriately touched. Let's continue.
It's mandate that the mayor shall. It didn't say it.
And I tried.
And
I tried. And no one wanted to serve. And so therefore, due to the timing is of the importance at this point.
Because I waited until the last possible second to get busy on this. It's my guess. A city of, I say this on the bonus episode available for download and you're listening wherever you get your podcasts. A city of over 11,000 people. You managed to talk to 40 or over 40, he says. It's a vanishingly small number compared to the population. I'm not quite sure we exhausted every possible avenue there to do things as the charter plainly says they should be done.
Due to the timing, we need to act because we do not want anyone saying that we did not do what we were supposed to do.
You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to appoint 3 election inspectors and have the election. It's in the charter. That's not even an opinion. That's not something you can negotiate. It's in black and white in the Macomb City Charter. It laid out quite clearly what you were supposed to do. You didn't do it. So I will proudly say you didn't do what you were supposed to do. That's in black and white. But you got to love the framing. You got to love the way that this is phrased and this attitude to make it sound like we're doing the right thing here. We're doing, we're taking care of business. Fixing a failure is what we're doing. one of those sounds a lot better than the other, doesn't it?
And by timing, I mean the short window that we have now, this is the best route to go as far as I see it.
Okay, that was just, like I said, I didn't know about the business of the city of handling it, and I was just here. And I don't want to be biased. I just want to try to understand what the policies say.
It's at but I'm just letting you know, it's at the discretion of the mayor. He does not have to advertise. All he has to do is contact some citizens and see if they are willing to participate.
I understand that.
It does not say that. It says you shall appoint 3 election inspectors in black and white plain English. It says that. It does not say the mayor shall contact a few people and see if they're interested. No, it doesn't say that. That's not the duties at all. Not buying that. Sorry. Never going to buy that. Let's listen to that again, because I want to make sure you hear it.
Okay, that was just, like I said, I didn't know about the business of the city of handling it, and I was just here. And I don't want to be biased. I just want to try to understand what the policies say.
It's at but I'm just letting you know, it's at the discretion of the mayor. He does not have to advertise. All he has to do is contact some citizens and see if they are willing to participate.
In other words, he has to give it half a try. As long as he can say he gave it the old college try, well, we'll just go ahead and do whatever the heck we want to. It does not say that. The charter says the general election will be run by 3 election inspectors, which shall be appointed by the mayor. That could be appointed by the mayor if anybody will give him the time of day. Not, oh, well, at least he's got to try. If not, we'll go with plan B. No, it says they shall be appointed. Did you appoint them? No. We can't follow the most basic structures inherent in our city charter. We can't even pull that off. And you wonder why we've got so many other problems.
If you cry out for more,
done with that when we 5-1 was the vote, by the way. So for now, we will have a general election of a sort in the city of Macomb. When we come back, notice put out right at the start of the show by Sheriff Wally Jones. Want to make sure to talk about that next.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple are just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have to pray. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page. closing time.
When we started the show an hour ago, we started it out by bragging on Sheriff Wally Jones. He wasn't listening. He was typing out a notice to go out on Facebook and all the other social media about the latest scam going around. You may or may not have seen it. This one comes in the form of a letter. You know, if it's in print, obviously it's true. If anything, we just learned Friday, even if it's in print in the charter, that doesn't mean it's real. And the same thing is with these letters that are going out right now. And Pike County Sheriff Wally Jones put this out because it is hitting around here as well in Pike County. He says, let me be clear. Mississippi courts are not sending you surprise final notices demanding immediate payment through a random QR code. Here's your quick reality check. Courts don't pressure you to pay instantly via QR codes. Official notices don't read like a last chance game show. And scammers love urgency because thinking ruins their plan. There are these letters going around from the Hinds County Traffic Division. Final notice, court enforcement action. You have a fine. This particular one is for over $2,000, looks like. Says they're going to come get you. So it says you're in trouble. Your hearing date is tomorrow unless you scan this code and pay us the money. Before you laugh, before you scoff, there are people that will do it. Oh, yeah. The easy way to tell that there are people that will do it is that they're still doing this. They're still sending these things out. If it didn't work, they'd stop and move on to another grift. That's the way it works. If they send out 1 million of these and 2 people bite, 2 people go, oh, I better send the money. They made $5,000. It's a numbers game. So yes, it's ridiculous. Yes, it's not the way anything works ever. We just talked about this Friday, had Kimberly on with the AARP talking about the scams going around, and then this one started hitting and going out everywhere. I think it's actually an email that they send out with this, which makes it even better for them because they don't even have to lick any stamps. Just click send. And if anyone is silly enough to buy into it and send them money, well, your money's gone. But at least you've paid for a non-existent fine in a place you probably haven't been to get out of trouble you were never in to begin with. Good job. Feel like we've talked about that same topic the entire hour. Have a wonderful day. We'll do this again tomorrow morning at 9:06. My friend, I'll see you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.